If you only have 2 hours to go birding this weekend, your hotspot choice will determine whether you see 3 birds or 30. Most beginner birders think that if it's labeled hotspot, it must be good. That's just not true. Central Park, the Ramble, the Turtle Pond, the Reservoir. These are all hotspots, but they're not equal. By the way, if we haven't met, I'm Rick. I'm a professional birding guide, and choosing the right hotspot is one of the most important decisions I make before every birding trip. This one decision alone can double your success rate. And as a birding guide, that's really important. I'm going to show you how to choose hotspots in real time. Let's look at eBird. If you go to eBird, click on Explore, choose a region. I'm going to show you New York City. Because if I was a New Yorker working in one of those tall high-rises, I would want to know where the birds are. Click on Map, and each of these dots, each of these pins is a birding hotspot that somebody has chosen to be a birding hotspot. We're going to see if all those spots are equal, and I'm going to tell you they're not. As I zoom in, I can see that there's so many hotspots in Central Park. Well, that makes sense. It's a birding oasis in the middle of an urban jungle. But if I only have 2 hours to go birding, which one do I go to? It can be such a time waste if I choose the wrong hotspot. Well, let me tell you a secret. Each of these hotspot pins is a different color for a reason. And there's a legend on this map to decipher the color of the pins. The darker the pin, the more species are seen at that hotspot. Already, I can see that some of these hotspots are dark orange, some are green, and some are yellow. And if I look at the chart, the darker the color, the more birds. So let's click on one, Central Park. Aha! Somebody has created a hotspot for the entire park with 44,000 checklists. A lot of people use this hotspot, but it doesn't really help me because it doesn't tell me where in the park. There's got to be a better way. All right, let me find another one. This has 24,000 checklists. Wow, there's a lot of birders that come to this place. It's called the Ramble with 244 species. That's pretty good. The Jackie Kennedy Onassis Reservoir, also a big hotspot. 7,000 checklists with 200 species. But this is all time, all years. Right now it's in February. What's the birding like there right now? Well, you can sort it by the month. If I change it from all months to just February, what happens? Oh boy, what happened to all the species? Instead of 200 species, there's only 100 species. Well, it's because these are all the winter birds. These are only the birds seen in February. Well, what if I change it again to just this year? Well, now I'm getting a better picture of where I should go today if I'm going to go bird. And then, oh, look over here. I can change it to all the hotspots that have been birded this month and then this week. Now there's only 5 or 6 places to choose from with the Reservoir, the Ramble, where else? Oh, maybe up here. North End. If I was to go birding, I'd choose one of these 3 spots. The fact that a hotspot has multiple checklists or thousands of checklists tells me it's a place that birders go. It's worth checking out, especially in the month that you're visiting. So if I click on the Ramble and I go into its hotspot, I can now see the iconic birds, the birds that it's known for. You can even change that for the current month. So if I'm going there today, I know I'm going to be looking for the rusty blackbird, the fox sparrow, the chipping sparrow, because they're found here more often than all the other hotspots in the area. And I also can go to the illustrated checklist. It's a rarely used place in eBird that has tons of data. If I sort this for this month, it tells me exactly which birds and how frequent they're seen at this hotspot. And a little side note, there's a photo. It's like its own little field guide of that bird taken at that hotspot. And they're typically the best photos of that bird at that hotspot, meaning they've got the most 5-star reviews. So back out to the big map, I'm looking at, there's some smaller hotspots. Evodia Field in Central Park. It only has 4 checklists this month. It's not a very birded spot. 7 checklists, 0 checklists, but 1 species. Yeah, I'm gonna be focusing definitely on the reservoir because it has 84 checklists and the ramble. The other hint is when you go to the hotspot page, there's pictures of the hotspot. So you get an idea right away, is this gonna be a water habitat? Or is this gonna be a marsh? Is this gonna be woods? So I can see right here that the reservoir, is frozen over. January 29th, this picture, and I can see the birds are concentrated around the water opening. This also tells me I'm probably gonna wanna bring my scope if it's still frozen over to be able to pick through all the ducks and the waterfowl because they're really far away from the trail. Before I head out to a spot, I usually look at the most recent checklist to see what the habitat's like. Is the water frozen? If you click on checklist and it sorts it by date, I can see, that's today. There were 15 birds seen at the reservoir. And usually when there's a comment, it means the bird is rare or it did something special. A continuing female by the fountain, a common merganser. I'm gonna look for that. So that's how I choose the strongest hotspot. Now, let me show you what it looks like in the real world. Let me address the elephant in the room. I'm not in New York City. I'm back home in Southern Ontario, but I'm applying the same lessons and the same tips and tricks that I showed you in Central Park to find the best hotspot in my county right now in the wintertime. That hotspot, Wellington Harbor.
It's no secret up north, the lakes freeze over and the ducks have nowhere to go. So they migrate just far enough where they can find open water. Most counties have a spot. This is the hot spot. This is the secret. Most counties have a spot where the water doesn't freeze. Maybe there's a marina that puts a bubbler for their boats. Maybe there's a shallow area where the water doesn't freeze. That's where the birds love to go. And that's what I'm going to show you. This is not it. In the town of Wellington, there's one marina that never freezes over, which means all the waterfowl from all over come here. Let's go see what we got. Having this open water means all the waterfowl from all over congregate here. Swans, ducks. Ooh, all right, right off the bat. Mute swans. Oh, bufflehead. If I'm lucky, I'll find some trumpeter swans in here. The odd tundra swan. All right, let me get my scope set up. The white one in the back is a common merganser. Canada goose. These are redhead. There's a redhead right next to the swan. Herring gull. They're always right on the edge of the ice, the herring gulls, looking for fish. I don't want to get wet, but I'll stick my head in. Ring-necked ducks. Bufflehead. Redhead. Got a male female bufflehead there right next to each other. We got greater scop in here. That's the one right in the middle. There's the widgeon right there, walking on the ice. Like an old man. It's got that stripe down its forehead. There's 2 of them right there. And those common mergansers in front of them with the white. What a great spot. Let's try and miss northern pintail. Their bums in the air. Always find these dapper ducks. Beautiful. Look at that. We've got something special here. We've got a tagged swan. If you're tagged and you're a swan and you're in the Great Lakes, you are a trumpeter swan. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that bill. Black as can be. You're the native swan around here, not those invasive mutes. It's so nice to see swans that are native to our area. So that's the trumpeter. Oh yeah, look at that giant black bill. Yeah, there's websites you can go and put the number in and see when they were born, who they're related to. Trumpeter swans have a V on their forehead. And I remember that for V as in trumpet, to have valves that start with a V. There it is, there's the V. Looking right at me. You don't need more time to go birding. You just need to pick better hotspots. Use the data available from eBird to be more efficient with your time. One thing to remember, we know it, but we forget it. Birds attract birds. This is why hunters put decoys out. Birds see the other birds, they feel safe. They're like, this is a place for us. So if you can find open water where birds are, guess what? More birds are gonna come. More species of ducks, waterfowl, swans, geese, all of it. If you found this helpful, it would mean the world to me if you just hit the like button and subscribe and watch my next video, which is all about iconic species. It's a new feature that eBird has. It makes it like a crystal ball to know what birds are going to be at the hotspot. All right, next time. See you later.